So what happened last time?
We had a very emotional fight to the death.
In which no one died.
In which no one died, yes.
Well, no one with names.
Yeah.
Before that?
So we sent Keel India off on her own, and then immediately had to rejoin her because she was not able to accomplish it on her own, to go contact the summoners in preparation for challenging Larvova.
Mm-hmm.
No one wanted to listen.
Mm-hmm.
Turned out Larvova wasn't home. She and Seneca had gone off to go murder some Kjorls.
Mm-hmm.
Conveniently, they came back that afternoon,
Mm-hmm.
and then the challenge happened.
And what was the result of that challenge fight?
Keel India is now the new Ilhar of the one run, the Blazres, yeah.
By right of super badass suplex.
And she's the Ilhares, because it's a major clan.
Oh right, S doesn't mean female in this case.
No, it means important. Therefore, Houndrel, I will not respect you until you are Wizard-S.
I'm wizard-esque, I mean. Is that close enough?
Damn it.
Yes, good. And what was the other thing that came out of that fight?
See, checklist. Larvova still alive, agreeing to serve under Keel India, with Keel India as Ilharis, and we told Keel India that it was in her best interest / our best interests for her to go back to funding Tiradora's research.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's why we did any.
So now you have money enough to pay off her debt,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where we're going to pick up the session for today. First, do an Omake Theater.
If your character created a wallpaper that tasted like what it looked like, what would it be?
No.
Black.
The Joja Cola wallpaper.
You finish a jumbo hamburger at a restaurant, get to add a new creation at the restaurant called the insert name burger. What is on this creation? So you go to a restaurant, you successfully eat the challenge food, and then you get to have a dish named after you. You get to make your own kind of burger. What is on this burger?
The black burger. And it's not what you think. It's not what you think, knowing Houndrel. It's going to just be black beans, but it's like 3 full cans of black beans just dunked between 2 burger buns.
But why?
I don't know what constitutes real food.
Oh, right. You don't know where food comes from.
So you just take some black beans and put it on 2 burger buns, and that's it. You got your
It's like
black
RPG
burger.
character cooking. It's like, I don't know, you take some beans and some bread and then it makes a food, right?
Breath of the Wild. You take some beans and some bread, you throw them onto a fire, and then you're done. Food pops out.
If Tales of Symphonia taught us anything, it is that the only ingredient you need for sandwiches is bread.
I'm just thinking of, what is it, the poor man's sandwich, which is like ice between 2 slices of bread.
Oh, God.
Oh, that should be Cosnas.
Well, I was actually thinking for Kazna, he would have like the chaotic cheeseburger, and it's like a normal meat patty, but then it's like 15 different types of cheese, then another meat patty, and that's it. And I mean, like, it'll
No
have the
bread.
normal. Well, it has the blood because it's a normal burger. That's implied, I would think.
No, I just
No.
want you to just holding on to the cheese.
It's like it's a tiny cheese wheel for the blood. Oh, like those baby bell cheeses.
Oh, that would be the gooeyest mess. Like, what kind of monster?
Well, it gets even worse because other than like normal, like, you know, provolone and mozzarella, I'm thinking like cottage cheese,
No.
cheese whiz,
No.
Velveeta.
Why would you say something? Why would you say something so horrible?
ricotta,
Parmesan, but like a block of it.
and the whole thing is
Mozzarella.
put inside of a cheese wheel and then it's baked. Perfect.
God.
We have this
Terrible.
restaurant is going out of business real quick.
Yep.
Oh, but wait. You're playing Kamina and
Oh
you're
shit,
playing
I'm Sylvia.
So
Oh right. Oh,
that was all.
we
That was all
forgot.
extra.
Wow, messed up.
Kamina would do the mega oil burger in honor of our wrestling match with Gavlon.
Oh god.
And it's just a burger that has been deep fried 6 times.
Gross.
It's just a normal burger, but you just like batter it, fry it, batter it, fry it, batter it, fry it.
That's
batter
utterly
it,
disgusting.
So I assume the burger patty is deep fried all 6 times. How many times do you fry the bun?
I mean, I was thinking that like
Whole
maybe you
whole
could just-
burger.
the whole
You
burger
fried
was
that
fried.
once.
So it's like held together with a. It's like held together with a really big toothpick.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
A spear.
War pick.
It's a spear.
Yeah, what is a spear but just a very large war pick?
If you finish your meal, you get to keep the pick.
You can kill yourself with the pick from that much oil.
The entire time you eat the burger, the restaurant has to play the in-store music as the date fight music from Undyne's Date and Undertale.
Yes.
Yes, that's canon.
I'm thinking if Sylvia did a burger, it would be like the bun and then like meat, cheese, meat, cheese, meat, cheese, meat, cheese, and it'd be called the heart stopper.
Okay.
Because after eating it, like you'd probably like on Black Friday would have to get a new heart or something.
Is that how Black Friday works in Cello Susalov?
Yeah.
Cello Susalov doesn't have a Black Friday because they don't have a Thanksgiving.
Surely the Belderbein have some Black Friday.
I mean, that's just called Friday.
Just every Friday.
I just love the fact that the 2 Curls in the party have just made absolute artery destroyers. Just like,
Yeah.
we hate our lives and we hate yours.
Oh man.
The purpose of this burger is to purge any and all who eat it.
Purge your intestines.
Purge your arteries.
After you eat it, if you don't die, your demon will be so disgusted with you that they will leave.
I mean, greasy pizza is still pizza, but like, would anyone still want to touch it?
I mean, not pizza this greasy. Not a pizza that's eaten as like sextuple fried burger.
So I was late today because I was at the DAG practice at one of the local colleges, and after practice, I was talking with my friend Johnny, who like runs the club, and he was asking one of the other club officers, like, "Hey, we need to find out what the gym's policy on food is, like what kind of catered food we can get delivered here, so that we can like have food after practice." And the response, and she was like, "Well, we can probably only get pizza from Woody's, because we can spend club funds there, and we're not doing that. Their pizza is terrible." And I was like, "Terrible pizza? What's so bad about it?" They're like, "It's basically cheese on cardboard. It's the saddest pizza." And I was like, "Oh, so it's I totally understand. It's the kind of pizza that you eat alone in your dorm room by yourself while Mad World plays softly on your computer and you cry." Like, they were like, "Yeah, pretty much." I was like, "Yeah, I totally haven't done that."
Is cardboard pizza still pizza?
Chuck E. Cheese pizza, still pizza.
I don't even know what that would be in our metaphor.
I mean, wait, like, if you put like skin on a bag of meat.
A wooden drow mannequin? Or a drownikin?
Then no. In that, if either of those is the case, then cardboard pizza is not pizza.
Follow-up question. Is Alfredo anchovy pizza still pizza?
What is that in the fucking...
I don't know, but I have made this abomination and I'm not convinced.
Is Hawaiian pizza still pizza? The answer is yes.
So, let me amend the question. Is anchovy pineapple pizza still pizza?
Are you asking me metaphorically or literally?
I will accept either one.
Literally, yes, it is still pizza. Like, I would say that it is still pizza because it's just weird toppings on pizza.
Is it situationally still pizza?
Is it ethically still pizza?
No.
That is a question for the philosophers.
Oh boy.
Would that be a good pizza place? Open up a new pizza and just call it Ethically Pizza?
Ethically pizza. Not ethical pizza. Ethically pizza.
Adverbially pizza.
Adverbial.
You need to make a chain, and each chain is just.
Each chain is a different like food specialty restaurant. So there's ethically pizza and adverbially burgers.
Hypothetically, sandwiches.
Hypothetically, what's one for wings?
Unfortunately.
Oh, that's good.
That's so
Oh, oh, Mark, I have a suggestion for you. The bloody sandwich, and it's just raw meat stacked between buns.
Okay, so Nemeril does like his meat rare. He does like steaks rare and burgers rare. But his burger is going to be like a jalapeno burger or a Jamaican jerk burger. Something with a little heat, a little spice, maybe some bacon or some homkin.
Mhm.
But since he was on the surface and he's used to it, like he totally likes vegetables on his like lettuce, tomatoes, onions. He's had that before.
Hence the jalapenos and stuff.
Of course, yeah.
I want to eat this angry plant.
And he's not like he's had that and he's not going back. So
This
Nice.
burger is so rare, I still have to kill it.
Yeah, you have to fight your burger.
Which brings me to Annie Marcus' suggestion.
would you like to fight your burger? You know, Nemeril would totally open up a restaurant wherein you fight warrior halms, and if you win, you get to eat them.
Wow.
Wowzers.
No, see, this segues perfectly into my idea for Annie Marcus burger, the unagi burger.
Oh,
I have not watched enough Cutthroat Kitchen to tell you all the ingredients on it. Eel sauce is definitely among them. And the restaurant's going to need one of those big, like, aquarium tanks like you would normally see for, like, pick out your lobster. Only there are live eels, and you have to wrestle your own.
Oh my god.
That is perfect. Question, is the restaurant called Implication?
An implication of eels.
Just
Implication burger.
Neat.
oh man.
So, yeah. Now let's get into the actual session. So, y'all are in the Flosres districts. You just got the money to pay off Tirodora Flosres's loan to the Nelsarkoth. What do now?
Quick question. So were we just handed a big sack of cash?
Yes, Keelindia has handed you a big sack of cash. Yes, it has the Ada symbol on the front.
Okay, good.
Does she understand that she needs to continue paying for the research?
Well, yes.
Okay.
You explained that.
Okay,
She
good.
gave you the cash to pay off the loan, to pay
All
off the debt, so that Tirodora can go back to renting and be a debtor in good standing.
I mean, we have to party like the boss rest do. I mean, there's a new Ilharis, and we have magical demon goat guitarist lady.
And sealers, we're good.
I want to remind you that the Lunar Reaping Festival is happening in a few days.
We should head back.
Yeah.
We should stop by and let her know that her research is paid for.
Mhm.
We've got it, and then we'll go. I think is probably a good idea.
Do you guys want to like do an RP thing where you talk to Tirodora, or do you just want to be like, yeah, we let her know?
Say, unless she has anything new for us, I think we can probably get away with just sort of saying we go in and check in with her, and then we head back to Nalsarkoth.
Cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. All right. So you head back to the Nalsarkoth. On your way back, you
We tell every quest giver to fuck off.
Yes, obviously.
Clearly,
My house is on fire. We made it on fire.
we know we made it that way.
Who do you think lit the fire?
My child is drowning. Then throw her a boat.
The bandits are coming. We must
We are
save
the
my
bandits.
family.
The bandits are coming. That sounds like a personal
The
problem.
bandits are your family now.
You were the bandits.
The real bandits were the friends we made along the way.
That's very Clanimar.
So once you get to the Nalsarkoth districts, you actually see on your way that there's a decent amount of foot traffic heading to the Nalsarkoth districts. There's a lot of people from a lot of different places. You see Sharon and Silicinrune and some Ilhardro and even some Kyorosol and Nern people dressed up in like festival outfits. Like they're nice stuff. Going to the Nalsarkoth districts for this festival. Once you get into the Nalsarkoth districts, you see that the trees have mostly been recolored. So the leaves are now brown and red and orange and yellow, fall colors. And there are leaves littering the street that have fallen off of the trees. Unlike on the surface world where the leaves fall off and turn brown and wither and rot, these are all remaining vibrant fall colors, probably due to some sort of botanical wizardry on the Nalsarkoth's part. The whole place is decorated with paper lanterns and signs advertising Lunar Reaping Festival sales, and people are dressed in flowy red and orange and fall colored like themed outfits instead of all of the usual green that's about. The place is even busier than you remember it, especially the bazaar and the other market districts, and everything has just a very lively atmosphere where people are happy. They're playing carnival games. There are street performers performing sleight of hand and other street magic. There are mimes. There are elven statues, like human statues, but elves.
Wait, did you say mimes or mimes?
Mimes.
Some of each
Okay.
in the same locations.
And you make your way back to the Nalsarkoth, like, central offices.
Oh no.
And go to the loan repayment department. And again, like, do you guys want to do a whole RP thing of the bureaucracy, or do you just want to leave that implied?
Quick question. Would you listen to a band named Implicit Bureaucracy?
I would at least give them a try.
Okay.
Question: will I have a chance to destroy any tables?
You always have that chance.
The power was within you all along. It's like Dumbo's feather.
Well, I'm fine with either roleplay or...
It's up to you guys.
Meh. I think we can just breeze through it.
Yeah,
We
breeze
have-
through it.
Okay, cool. So,
Gotta get to the party games.
montage of the bureaucracy. Hello, please take a number. There's nobody in front of us, though. Take a number.
Can
Now
we pick our own
serving.
number?
You take number 20. Now serving number 3. Number 3.
In true drow fashion, can we just murder numbers 3 through 19?
There's literally nobody else there.
So there is no one to murder.
Correct. So you wait until, or murder people ahead of you until you are being the ones being served. And he's like, what is the loan number on your loan? And of course you don't have that because nobody told you. So you're like,
It was 3.
Nope, too many numbers.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
But eventually you wade through the bureaucracy and they're like, oh yes, the Vlasras, she owes us this much. And you're just like, sack of cash. They're like, that'll do. Thanks.
Thanks.
That'll do, pig.
Thanks, K-bye.
They hand you a like certified receipt stating that your loan is now back in good standing, and they are resuming the terms of the lease on that mana focus. So good job. Quest objective achieved.
Woo!
Yay.
When you leave the loan office, you see that there is a Nalsarkoth butler with short buzzed hair that has been dyed a bright orange. He's wearing mostly black otherwise, but is obviously very fancily dressed, and says, "The Ilharis has asked me to escort you to her chambers.
Well then.
Very well. Lead us away, Hans.
My name is Sven."
It's Hans, we have decided.
Very well, follow me. He buttles off with you in tow. He takes you up several flights of stairs, No. He takes you up an elevator, an indoor elevator, because the Nalsarkoth are exactly the sort of people who would have that. It even has elevator music.
Imagine if you turned this sideways and used it for farming.
It gives you a strange look. I assure you that the Nalsarkoth farming techniques are the most advanced in all of the underworld.
I mean, if you haven't made a farming elevator, can you really say that, though?
They are the most advanced in the underworld, I assure you.
Boy.
You can trust my word. I am a butler.
Is that how that works?
His name is Hans, too.
I thought they were the one who always like killed someone.
No, they're the ones who can never tell a lie.
Oh, that sounds difficult.
Mm-hmm.
We have arrived on the Ilharis' floor. He leads you down a hallway to a boardroom. Think like corporate offices, but much better interior decoration with along the lines of this like plant theme. And the decorations inside are much like the decorations outside. All fall colors and leaves and stuff. The normal chandelier that is lighting this chamber has been replaced with one that is made out of a dark brass fashioned in the shape of a pumpkin, a jack-o'-lantern. You do not see anyone in this room. The butler is holding the door for you.
Nimril, she has a floor. Why don't I have a floor?
Instead of the boardroom, maybe we should have gone to the fun room.
Guess we go inside?
Guess
Do
we
we have
enter.
any objections?
Usually, but let's do it anyway.
So do you go into the room?
Yeah.
When you enter, the very large chair at the other end of the table, at the head of the table, swivels around. It had its back turned to you. And there is the Ilharis.
Is she petting a cat?
No, of course not. She is petting a tick-ticky. What is wrong with you? She has, no, she doesn't have any sort of animal. That's not how she rolls. She does have her fan, however. The peacock feathers in this one are somehow orange and yellow. You're not sure how she managed that.
I mean, that was either
Foul magic.
a very strange peacock or a very sad peacock.
She does the dramatic chair spin. This like Clan Umarth.
Gentlemen.
Welcome back, gentlemen and lady,
Laddie.
and those that lieth betwixt.
Betwixt, you say?
She snaps her hand fan shut dramatically and stands up, putting her palms flat on the table. So I hear you've paid off the loan.
That is correct.
The Blosseres have paid off the loan. We just collected it.
True, but you delivered it. That means you carried out exactly what I asked you to do. Well done. How was your trip to the Blosseres?
Pretty interesting.
All of your fingers and toes still accounted for?
I would describe it as both fun and profitable.
Excellent. Then it's time for me to keep up my end of the bargain. Here you go. She gestures to one of the other chairs, which also had its back to the door. It spins around, and one of her accountant money mancers is sitting there with with several papers that she stands up and like puts on the table in front of you and puts out inkwells with quills. These are your special dispensations to join the Lunar Reaping Festival's competition this year. Simply sign them. There's a line on each of them for you to sign your own name, and a line above that where the Ilharis has signed her signature. She's like, simply sign your own names on those documents and present them to the Master of Ceremonies. Everything else will be taken care of. Good luck! And then she sits back down in the chair, turns around so that she's not facing you, and
Pretends that we're no longer in the room.
Do her
I
servants
guess.
wheel her out of the room?
no, she just sits there. She just goes back to sitting.
He's now in standby mode.
Once the accountant has finished putting the papers and quills out for you, she also sits back down in her chair and spins back around. You realize that all of the chairs in this room have their backs to you.
There could be any number of people in here.
All right.
The butler has not moved from his station, holding the door open.
I just whisper to the butlers, like, do they just wait like this until you announce the next person?
Remember, no lying. You are a butler.
I am not at liberty to divulge Nelsarkoth procedures.
So that's a yes then.
That's a polite yes. Well, I guess we sign these things.
Mm-hmm. Suppose so.
Who signs as the witness? No one is witnessing us?
There isn't a line for witness on this document.
We
Oh,
don't need witnesses. That's not how Drow society works.
Witnesses only complicate matters, remember?
I guess. I mean, okay.
Right, so Nemeril will sign his.
Cool.
Yeah. I have a mini Omake theater idea. What does everyone's signature look like?
Ha!
Still trying to decide if Addie Marcus signs her own name.
Which of her own names?
That's a great question, actually.
Does Addie Marcus sign someone else's document as well?
I think Kamina's would just be an X.
Can Kamina not read or write?
No, she can. It's just too much time and effort. I know.
Headbutts the paper and calls that a signature.
Just puts a whack on signature.
Oh, and Nemeril's just like, well, now I can try it out, and just smacks his arm, and then a pen pops out of one of his fingers. He just writes his name as best he can, which, another thing about it, probably isn't terribly well.
You know what? No, I'm gonna take my answer back. Kamina has like a really a girly, flourishing signature.
Oh my god.
Does she
Like
dot
with-
the I with a heart?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Dang, you took mine for Sylvia.
Sylvia has the same thing, but there's an arrow through the heart.
I love
Perfect.
it.
Cool. So you sign your documents and then you leave?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yes, so.
Over to the MC.
Yep. So outside, the butler directs you to the area where the competition is going to be held. I want you to imagine a carnival or fairground, carnival or county fair kind of area. There are, but without the big rides. There's a bunch of the attractions, like pin the tail on the home, bobbing for apples.
Musical chairs?
No,
Okay.
I'm trying to think of other competitions, other carnival games, kind of a thing. There's one where it's you gotta toss the rings onto the little pegs. There's one where you have to throw a ball and try to knock over these bottles.
Maybe a little Manatech rifle and target.
Yeah, maybe something like that. A dunk tank. Yeah,
It's one of those little strength test things with the hammer.
yeah.
I want to play that.
We're gonna break everything, yo.
Well, in the same area, it's they've got these set up in rows, and it'll be there are attractions, and then there are also vendors. Most of them are food fairs, so the air is full of the smell of fried foods, cinnamon, and other fall spices, pumpkin spice,
Pumpkin spice atrocity.
pumpkin spice everything, pumpkin spice the world.
Pumpkin spice, home fingers.
And set off to the side of these rows, kind of not set off to the side, it's the rows are sort of built around this big arena type thing. It's basically a bare what am I trying to say? It's a bare field with a raised stage in the center, and the stage is set up with a big area, open area, presumably where the competition is going to be. There are several different tables set up. One of the tables, obviously, is where the announcer or MC is going to be sitting. And you see people milling about, doing last minute preparation stuff, running Manatech wires, putting up lights, that kind of thing. You also see off to the side of this stage that there are several groups of drow, and they're all wearing there's a group of four that is there's a group of four that are all wearing red tunics, and they're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. There's another group of four that are all wearing blue tunics, and they're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. There's one wearing pink tunics, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sort of think athletic jerseys, and you notice that they all have different symbols on them. You recognize the blue ones as the Sartellos clan. And the pink ones have a distinct lotus flower from the Guild of Flowers. And there's a few more teams. Mostly, you notice that none of them are from major clans. All of the teams appear to be minor clan teams. And they're like hanging out around the stage, clearly like ready to get going and like waiting for the competition to start. The butler is still leading you, and he takes you to past some of the crews putting up the getting tables together, and over to where past the stage and past a couple of the like lines of vendors and games of skill, there's a tent set up that he like leads you in, like opens the flap for you, and inside there are several drow like with a table. There are like lots of papers around. This is like sort of the administrative center, the command center of this carnival.
The registration booth.
Not exactly. This is where the decision making is happening for like dealing with last minute problems. Like when you walk in, you overhear somebody saying about like and so we're going to need about another 20 bushels if we're going to last for the rest of the week. And like the guy who's clearly in charge of all of this is a short Draloth man wearing brown and orange with a special looking yellow sash going from his shoulder to his hip. And he's like, tell Hans Reiner that he needs to head out to, that he needs to take a boat to Feld today. The festival's going to be going on for a while. We can hold out for the week and a half that it takes him to get back. They should have more than enough. And tell them that pears are a fine substitute if they run out of apples. We're expecting another 10 bushels from the caravan that got stuck and had to do repairs. So that should hold us over. Are you sure, sir? Feld's an awful... Don't worry, Hans Reiner knows those currents better than anybody. He can get here and back faster than that caravan can get to us. Don't worry. Well, why are you standing there for? Get going. And the like guy's like, oh, right, so, shit, and runs. And then this guy looks at you and is all like, Sven, can I help you? Sven gestures to you guys. It's like, may I present Clan Umarth, who wishes to compete in the Lunar Reaping Festival's competition. This guy looks at all of you and like looks you up and down and is like, well, it's a bit late. We're literally starting in another hour and a half. You needed to register like a week ago. The butler coughs and is like, they have special dispensation. He looks back at all of you and is like, the fuck does that mean?
It means I'm pretty sure you can't tell your Ilharis what to do.
He looks taken aback a moment and is like, pardon?
She signed a paper and everything. She's very dramatic about it.
That does sound like her. Let me see the paper.
Hand over.
He looks at it. By order of the Ilharis Teal Civilization, being a reaping festival, join the competition any time whatsoever.
I just whispered to Addie Marker, should we have read that?
He looks up at you. Well, sure, I guess you don't have uniforms or anything, but here. He like turns the paper, he like gets the papers from all of you, turns them over on his desk, writes a big 1 on one of them, hands it to you, writes a big 2, 3, and 4, hands them all to you, and is all like, there, go wait out by the stage like everybody else. We'll do it, fuck it, we'll do it live. I guess we're doing it live. So, well, what are you standing there for? I need to do a bunch of things. We have to rewrite the whole setup plan because now we have another team and that makes it an odd number, so we have to make sure that the stage is, you know what, fuck it, you'll just be on the end.
So quick question.
No, I don't have time for questions right now. If you have any questions, you can talk to, I don't know, one of the jackoffs working over by the stage that are putting the tables on things.
Cool.
All right then.
Bye.
The butler holds the tent flap open for you and then gives you a short bow and says, I must bid you adieu. My duties require that I be elsewhere. Do go with my best wishes of good luck in the competition.
Thanks, Hans.
My name is Sven.
Is it, though?
Yes, it is. Goodbye. And he leaves.
I think that was the most polite way I've ever been told "fuck you."
What kind of butlers do they have these days? Can't even pronounce their own name correctly.
I thought it was like legally required to change your names to Hans if you became a butler.
Wesley.
Wesley.
So, what exactly does anyone know what this what we're competing in?
Again, I asked the question of, did anyone read the paper before we handed it over? Well, I guess we still have it.
I take the paper off of my chest and I start to read it.
It's a paper that states that the bearer of this document, whose signature is below the Ilharis' signature, is hereby declared by Ilharis Teosilol Nedes Valdal Sarkov to be allowed special dispensation to join and register for the Lunar Reaping Festival's eating contest at any time whatsoever.
Oh, goodness.
Oh boy.
It's too bad we didn't bring Kazna.
But we brought Kamina, who I'm pretty sure is going to try to eat the table. So
Table is delicious and very fibrous. The bowels will run smooth today.
Oh my gosh.
So, what do y'all do? You've got some time, about an hour and a half, before the eating contest begins.
We can figure out what we're eating.
We do our stretches.
say I want to go find. I want to go find Jagoff Now Sarkoth, which is going to be their official name, and ask them if there are any official rules we should know about.
So you just grab one of the dudes setting up tables.
Yeah.
Okay. This Draloth is also wearing like brown and orange. He does not have the yellow sash of authority, though.
You there, sashless one.
Yes, that's me, I guess. What can I help you with, Lady Val?
Tell me, this eating competition that we'll be beginning soon, what are the rules for this most mighty endeavor? Are there any? How does this work?
There are 4 rounds, and your team of 4, one of you will compete in each round. They are posted over by the stage. You should have read all of this when you registered.
We only registered like 5 minutes ago.
I don't think that's how that works. Are you sure you're in the right place?
I just flipped my number up with the text underneath, probably upside down.
He like looks at it, turns his head slightly, is like, well, that's definitely the Ilharis' signature, so I'm just gonna assume you know what you're doing. Look,
Yes,
That's a
that is definitely an assumption you should make.
so sure, I guess. What are your questions? I guess
Well, what are we eating?
for which round?
Can we just go in order?
Guess, yeah, you don't know any of this. First round is, and here's where I'm going to break character a bit so that I can explain to you guys the mechanics of each of these challenges.
Okay.
So, one character will compete in each of the rounds. At the end of the 4 rounds, whoever wins, it's like if you lose a round, then you are not your team is not like knocked out. This isn't a bracket system.
Is it more of a point system?
Yeah, you get points for coming in first, second, or third place. So 4th and below, you don't get any points. At the end of the 4 rounds, however, or wait, no, that's not how I'm doing it. The teams that get, there's progressive cutoffs. So for round 1, as long as you are not in the bottom half of teams, then you advance to round 2. In round 2, as long as you're not in the bottom half of teams, you advance to round 3, etc., etc. Such that at round 4, there will only be a couple of competitors, a few teams left. But in round 1, there's going to be a lot of teams. Round 1 is the speed eating competition. Each contestant must chow down on a plate full of roasted challah butt, but they are big butts, and I cannot lie. The contest rules state that you cannot cut the butt into smaller pieces or let it touch the table, ground, or etc. while eating it. So this is going to be in initiative order. Every round, your character has to succeed on a strength check to lift the butt and begin eating. Failure means that you drop the butt and cannot eat any.
Oh, who is the master ass eater of our group?
God damn it.
Once you are hefting the butt, you must make a roll. Player creativity is important here to consume the butt in some way. For example, Kamina might elect to roll strength again to simply force large parts of the butt down her throat. Rolls for this round must be single pool. So it's not going to be like Dex plus athletics. It's just going to be Dex. Or just intelligence or just composure, if you can justify making those rolls.
Resolve.
But you could also do skills, specific skills. So it, like just, I don't know, persuasion.
Get in me.
Persuade yourself.
You finish when you have accumulated 10 successes.
Man, it really is too bad we don't have Houndrel in the group. He could have just teleported portions into his stomach.
Oh no.
Who says it has to be my stomach?
You could put it in somebody else's stomach, make it
Yeah,
look like
another
you're
competitors.
Well, here's the thing. In general, each person is only going to compete in one round. But if you really feel like it, you could have one character compete in 2 rounds. But that will come with severe penalties because you've already competed in one of the eating contests.
So you will be handicapped going into your second round.
Yes. So that's round 1 is speed eating ass.
speed eating
Can't.
ass. Nate.
Damn it.
Mm.
So does anybody have what questions do you have about round 1?
None.
That's pretty forward. Pretty
Cool.
straightforward.
Round 2 is climb the tower. Oh wait, that's right. This is how I was doing this. Round 2 is actually 2 of your teammates, 2 contestants from each team. That's right. I forget how I was doing this. This is only 3 rounds because it's round 1 is 1 person, round 2 is 2 people, and then round 3, the final round, is 1 person again. So in round 2, 2 contestants from each team work together to ascend a tower of polished marble that is slicked with grease. The first team to reach the top of the tower and eat the cream-filled roast mushroom there wins. There is a 1 cream-filled roast mushroom for each team that is competing. Sorry about that. That's my alarm to let me know to switch my laundry. So I'll do that whenever we get to a break. So mostly, this is going to be a Dex plus Athletics difficulty 10 check. Failure means no progress. Botching means that you suffer a cascade failure and begin to slide down the tower. And you must make more rolls to try and stop yourself from continuing to slide.
Are there any rules on the usage of magic in order to climb the tower?
So, in general, all of these competitions are to be done without magic. Not even in general. The rule is that you are not allowed to use magic to aid you in these contests. These are supposed to be eating contests, not magic contests.
So if it's supposed to be eating contests, why are they having us climb a greased pole?
It's not a pole, it's a tower.
Tower? Well, man, what?
So we can get that creamy mushroom.
It's a pyramid.
Okay.
There's
so it's not
stair
vertical.
steps.
It's a
Yeah, no,
pyramid
it's not
scheme.
vertical. So there are it's stair steps up.
They're just really slippery.
Yeah, and the stair steps are slightly inclined down. So one strategy that you could take, no, I'm not gonna reveal that right now. Round number 3 is called the Warlord of Food. The final 2 competitors, or however many there are, will face off in a challenge of intestinal fortitude. The first person to eat everything on their plate and keep it down for a full 10 minutes is the victor. This one I'm going to copy paste so that you guys can see it. I'm going to put this into a journal file, a handout in Roll20. Okay, should be called Warlord of Food. Do you all see it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So the plates contain the following: a whole watermelon, a whole coconut, a whole onion, and a glass of spider milk.
Spider milk.
Each food requires its own checks. The watermelon is con diff 8. The coconut, strength diff 8, because you have to break the coconut in order to eat it. onion, resolved if 8, and the spider milk, if you drink it first, there is no check. But all the other checks you make are at +1 difficulty. If you drink it after eating anything, then it is composure, difficulty 7, plus foods eaten. Failing any of the above checks means that you stall out for that round and make no progress. Once you finish eating, you must make a composure, then a resolve, and then a con roll to keep the foods down for the requisite time. Failing any of these checks means you vomit and lose. So, I'm going to let you know right now that I designed Warlord of Food so that Kamina would have the best shot out of anybody in your party at completing it successfully.
That's already what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because I think it is very, very thematic that Kamina be the anchor in the competition to win her sister back from the Nelsarkoth. The other competitions are up to you.
I think I have it figured out.
I think who's the lightest? Is it Adimarka? Nemeril should just throw Adimarka at the top of the pyramid.
Well, I was actually thinking possibly Nemo is first, then Sylvia Addy second. But that's without looking at character sheet. Okay, so I think Nemo should be first, because doesn't Nemo have pretty good strength?
My strength is 4.
Okay. And the first one is lifting the ham, and I'm assuming me and Adimarka are strength 2.
Yeah, you assume correctly.
Yeah.
And Sylvia definitely should do the second round, because I have 5 decks.
Yeah, I'm not sure, honestly, Addie's not going to be great in any of these rounds. Because I don't have strength, dex, or con that high.
On the plus side, her magic is not particularly showy, and she could hypothetically get away with cheating.
Wait, what are Arabelle's stats? Can she eat?
Really
Oh my
good,
gosh.
but also in terms of, hey, let's talk about being showy.
Well, we want to make a big splash. By the way, I brought the ghost of a light elf to the party.
You know, I know you said we weren't allowed to use magic, but I summoned an ancient light elf princess to do my challenge for me.
Well, what if Adimarka actually signed the paper as Arabelle?
Oh my gosh! She probably.
And I don't know what is the distance to do that summon thing, because maybe we just have Adimarka not even go on stage and she's just in the audience unconscious.
Say the limitation is more time than distance. Because remember, I can only maintain it for 1 round per point of aura I spend.
Ooh.
So eventually I just hit aura exhaustion and pass the fuck out.
Man. How much aura do you have again?
Like 8.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can see it's an option. One second, I'm gonna go check on
Plus,
food.
when's the last time Arabelle has eaten?
But also, Arabelle is one of those cards I've been holding pretty close to the chest, so I don't know that I want this to be her public unveiling.
That's true.